Nothing in the Outlander universe prepared us for what Blood of My Blood Season 2 is about to unleash, because this time, the battles won't just be fought on the field. They'll be fought in the heart of Brian and Ellen Fraser, the moment they're forced to make a choice that could rewrite the family's entire destiny. And it begins with one shocking twist. Brian and Ellen may not only protect William, they may adopt him. The story of Blood of My Blood Season 2 begins with the storm of the 1715 Jacobite Rising gathering faster than anyone expected. Brian and Ellen have barely reunited after surviving betrayal, exile, and endless pursuit, yet the moment they finally stand side by side, the world pulls them apart again. Brian's decision to join the Jacobite cause isn't just quick, it's heartbreaking. He chooses honor and duty over the fragile peace he has just found with Ellen. And as he marches toward war, the consequences of every choice he has made begin to close in on them. At the same time, danger brews far away with Julia and William. Their second attempt to time travel is far from guaranteed, especially now that every gemstone is either missing or in Henry's possession. With Archbug hunting them and Simon Fraser waiting for his revenge, their fate becomes more uncertain than ever. If they fail, even by seconds, they risk falling directly into Simon's hands. And that moment might be the turning point that twists the story toward its most emotional chapter. Because Simon still believes the child is his. And if he captures them, he will never let William go. Julia's desperation to protect her son might push her toward a choice that fans never expected. She may have to call on the only two people who can shield William from Simon's rage, Brian and Ellen. But helping Julia won't be simple. Brian is already a target of the Mackenzies for stealing their sister. He's a target of the Grants for killing their lord. And now, if he hides William, he becomes a target of Simon Fraser too. This is where one of the biggest theories of the season takes shape. If Julia believes she can't escape, she may beg Brian to take William, temporarily, or perhaps forever. And for Brian and Ellen, this request might not be a burden but a breaking point. Brian lost a son named William in the books, a child who died at age 11. What if this William becomes that William? What if he grows up not as a prisoner of Simon, but as the son Brian and Ellen raise with love, only for fate to steal him away? This possibility creates a new emotional layer across the season. Ellen, already fearing Brian might never return from war, could find herself raising not just her newborn Jamie, but also the child Julia entrusted to her. And every day she protects William, every moment she feeds him, comforts him, and shields him from danger, she grows more attached to him. He becomes family, long before the world realizes it. Meanwhile, alliances shift across the Highlands. Malcolm's uncle still seeks revenge. The Grants stand ready for blood. But Mora, Malcolm's sister, becomes the unexpected bridge between the families. Her marriage to Douall could be the only thing preventing a full-scale feud. She may use the Rising as an excuse to convince her uncle that fighting the English must come first. And in the middle of all these conflicts, Myrt remains the quiet hero. He knows Brian better than anyone, and even though the shadows of Ellen still linger in his heart, he understands what must be done. His loyalty might prevent war between the Grants, Mackenzies, and Frasers. But peace won't last long. Not when Simon returns to the battlefield with vengeance burning in his eyes. And the closer he gets, the more we realize that every thread in this story is pulling toward a single explosive moment. The moment Julia's fate collides with Brian and Ellen's destiny. If William ends up in their arms, intentionally or by accident, it won't just change their lives. It will reshape the entire Fraser bloodline. And this is where Season 2 begins to reveal its true power, because every character is standing at the edge of a choice that could rewrite history. The wars outside are dangerous, but the wars inside their hearts may be far worse. As Blood of My Blood Season 2 unfolds, the intensity escalates on every front. Brian is caught in the chaos of the Jacobite Rising, facing enemies on all sides while trying to protect the fragile life he holds closest, Ellen and the child entrusted to them. The battlefield is ruthless, but the real tension comes from the hidden wars of loyalty, betrayal, and unexpected alliances. Friends today may be foes tomorrow, and the thin line between survival and disaster becomes a daily struggle for every Fraser in the Highlands. Brian's return to the fight draws him face to face with old enemies he thought he had outrun. The Mackenzies, whose sister he had rescued, now see him as a direct threat. The Grants, driven by vengeance, continue to push for retribution for the death of their lord. But amidst these mounting pressures, alliances begin to form in the most unexpected ways. Douall, who had once been a distant figure in the periphery of Brian's life, is now poised to become a key partner on the battlefield. His growing relationship with Mora, who remains a strategic bridge between powerful families, creates a fragile network of trust that may just tip the balance of power. Ellen, left behind, faces challenges of her own. With Brian away at war, she must navigate the dangerous landscape of raising not one, but two children, the newborn Jamie and the adopted William. Each day is a test of endurance, courage, and maternal devotion. William, already carrying the weight of his family's history, finds himself caught in a world of secrecy and uncertainty. Yet, under Ellen's care, he begins to thrive, his innocence a stark contrast to the harsh realities surrounding him. Every small act of love, feeding, protecting, teaching, cements the bond between him and his adoptive parents, and gradually, he becomes an integral part of the Fraser family story. Meanwhile, the stakes for Julia and William outside the Fraser household reach a critical point. Julia's attempts at time travel remain perilous, made even more uncertain by the loss of key gemstones that power the stones. Archbug's pursuit intensifies, with Simon Fraser waiting patiently for the perfect moment to exact his revenge. The tension of this pursuit adds layers of suspense to the storyline, as fans are left questioning whether Julia will survive long enough to reunite with Henry, or if her only chance of saving her child lies in Brian and Ellen's protection. The emotional weight of this season is heightened by the recurring presence of Myrt. As a character who has always embodied quiet strength and loyalty, Myrt now takes on the role of peacemaker, negotiating with both the Mackenzies and the Grants. His efforts to prevent full-scale war are crucial, and his interactions with Brian, Ellen, and the rest of the Highlands' key figures provide both grounding and hope in a story dominated by chaos. Yet even Myrt faces his own internal conflicts, as his past affections for Ellen linger in the shadows, subtly influencing his decisions and alliances. Simon Fraser's role as the looming threat cannot be underestimated. His obsession with revenge, fueled by betrayal and a sense of entitlement, makes him a formidable force that could destroy everything Brian and Ellen have worked to protect. His potential capture of Julia and William introduces a ticking clock element, adding urgency and suspense to every scene. The audience is left wondering, will Brian be able to shield William? Can Ellen protect her children while facing the constant danger of her surroundings? And most importantly, can loyalty, love, and family overcome the relentless forces of war and revenge? Amid these tense dynamics, the season continues to explore the personal evolution of characters like Mora and Douall. Mora's role as the mediator between families becomes pivotal. Her influence could prevent bloodshed, yet the fragility of her position keeps viewers on edge. Douall, caught between loyalty to Brian and the harsh realities of war, must confront his own sense of duty and honor. Their intertwined journeys provide a narrative richness that blends political intrigue with emotional stakes, giving the audience not just a story of war, but a story of hearts tested by loyalty, love, and survival. At the heart of all these conflicts lies one central theme: the definition of family. Brian and Ellen's willingness to take William into their care and potentially raise him alongside their own child embodies the season's focus on chosen bonds over inherited bloodlines. The struggles they face, external and internal, highlight the sacrifices required to protect loved ones and the resilience of the human spirit when confronted with impossible choices. Every alliance, every act of courage, and every tender moment of care reinforces the notion that family is not only what you are born into, but what you fight for, protect, and nurture against all odds. The culmination of Section 2 leaves viewers perched on the edge of anticipation. Every decision carries weight. Every moment brims with suspense, and the sense that anything can happen keeps the audience hooked. As Brian continues to navigate the treacherous currents of war and Ellen struggles to shield the children from harm, the story sets up a series of dramatic confrontations, emotional revelations, and shocking twists that promise to make season 2 unforgettable. The audience is left asking, how far will Brian go to protect William? Will Ellen's courage be enough to survive the mounting dangers? And when the dust settles, which alliances will endure and which will be shattered forever? As Blood of My Blood Season 2 races toward its most intense moments, the stakes for Brian, Ellen, and their extended family reach a fever pitch. The Jacobite Rising rages on, but the true battles are just as personal as they are political. Brian, torn between duty and family, must navigate the deadly terrain of both the battlefield and the Highland clan's intricate web of loyalties. Every skirmish, every negotiation, and every choice tests his honor and threatens the fragile life of the child he has agreed to protect. Ellen, meanwhile, faces challenges that are as emotionally grueling as any clash of swords. Raising two children in a world constantly shadowed by danger forces her into a role that demands resilience, intelligence, and courage. William, now in her care, becomes the focal point of her maternal instincts, and the bond she develops with him is both tender and suspenseful. Each step she takes to shield William and Jamie from the dangers surrounding them draws her deeper into a high-stakes game of survival. Every decision she makes could have irreversible consequences, not only for the children but for the Fraser legacy itself. The tension escalates further with Simon Fraser looming as an ever-present threat. His obsession with revenge and his unyielding belief in his own rights over William transform him into an unpredictable and terrifying antagonist. Julia's peril amplifies the suspense. Without the gemstones, the success of her time travel is uncertain, leaving her vulnerable to Simon's manipulations. The audience is left in constant suspense, questioning whether Julia can escape in time, or if the child entrusted to Brian and Ellen will become a permanent fixture in their lives, raising profound questions about love, duty, and family bonds. In the midst of chaos, strategic alliances form in surprising ways. Mora and Douall emerge as critical players, their actions shaping the balance of power in the Highlands. Mora's marriage to Douall, combined with her unique ability to influence Malcolm's vengeful uncle, creates a delicate but essential bridge between rival clans. Meanwhile, Myrt continues his quiet but powerful role as a peacemaker. His unwavering loyalty to Brian, his subtle affection for Ellen, and his ability to navigate treacherous clan politics make him a character whose influence may be the difference between life and death for the central family. The season also deepens the emotional stakes by exploring the evolving parent-child dynamic between Brian, Ellen, and William. The possibility of adoption is no longer hypothetical. It becomes a living, breathing reality that defines the core of their narrative arc. The challenges they face are immense: protecting William from Simon, shielding him from the chaos of war, and raising him alongside newborn Jamie. Every hardship strengthens the bond between them, but also raises the tension, as audiences anticipate the moment when these fragile structures might be shattered by betrayal, tragedy, or unforeseen danger. Meanwhile, unexpected developments continue to surprise viewers. The rising threat of the Grants, the ambitions of Malcolm's uncle, and the unpredictable outcomes of the Jacobite Rising create a constantly shifting landscape. Characters once thought secondary now take on crucial roles, influencing the course of events in ways no one could have predicted. Every interaction, every decision, and every hidden agenda contributes to a tapestry of suspense, keeping viewers on edge throughout the season. Season 2 doesn't just rely on external conflicts. It thrives on internal struggles as well. Brian's moral dilemmas, Ellen's emotional resilience, Mora's diplomatic balancing act, and Myrt's quiet heroism all contribute to a deeply human story set against the backdrop of historical upheaval. The audience is drawn into the characters' inner worlds, experiencing their fear, hope, and love as intimately as their triumphs and defeats. The stakes are never purely political or physical. They are profoundly personal, making every decision feel consequential and every relationship vital. As the narrative moves forward, The audience witnesses a series of shocking twists. William's adoption, the birth of Jamie, and the evolving alliances among clans redefine the Fraser family's legacy. The danger from Simon Fraser remains a constant threat, ensuring that suspense never wanes. Each episode heightens tension, delivering moments of unexpected revelation, dramatic confrontation, and emotional resonance that keep viewers fully immersed. Ultimately, Blood of My Blood Season 2 is a story about choices that define family, honor, and survival. Brian and Ellen's decision to raise William alongside their own child represents a profound act of love and courage. Their journey through war, betrayal, and political intrigue highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of familial bonds. Every battle fought, every alliance formed, and every secret uncovered propels the story forward, culminating in a season that promises to be as emotionally gripping as it is suspenseful. As the finale approaches, audiences will find themselves questioning every alliance, anticipating every twist, and rooting for Brian, Ellen, and William with every fiber of their being. This season reaffirms that in the Outlander universe, love and family are worth more than honor, more than vengeance, and sometimes more than life itself. Blood of My Blood Season 2 is not just a continuation of the story, it is an escalation, a deeper dive into the heart, and a thrilling, suspenseful ride that will leave fans breathless and eagerly awaiting the next chapter.